What's going on, everyone? Darksynth here, bringing you yet another character guide, and this time it's the Merc with the Mouth himself, Deadpool. Now, I'm going to say this up front. This character is probably the most complicated character in the game, despite you seeing characters like Storm. I think Storm is pretty complicated too. But just with the way that Deadpool is made in this game, he's a very high reward but high risk character. And what makes him that way is his unique. So he stabs himself with down U and back or regular U, 5U. And what this does is it gives him access to new specials, and it's mainly his mediums. So if we do DP, we get his Electric Wind God Fist or Kazuya's, This character is literally a reference to fighting games. So regularly, you're just going to get this upward sword attack. But again, if you use his U ability, even if you get chipped with a special, because specials can only chip you in this game, normals cannot chip you. You need to realize this, because even chip damage is going to give him gray health and then change his moveset. And if you notice the gray health, so if you notice whenever I do one of Deadpool's alternate specials, it takes away a little bit of his gray life. So he gets his DP changed, his down is now a dive kick, which is Doctor Doom's foot dive from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Yeah, this just changes how he plays, kinda. You may think his combos are gonna be complicated, but there's actually a way you can autopilot his combos to where it doesn't matter what bomb you get, you do all three of the specials, and you're able to, use the grenade in time before it blows up, but we'll get into that later. So next up, after his DP and down, we have his foot dive. Next we have his quarter circle forward, which is a rope, or, a reference to Scorpion's spear. And just to show you what these moves do on hit, that's the foot dive. This is the spear or rope move, and he can actually, if you press the button 2 more times, he'll do 2 follow-ups. And these are all references to Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. And the last move that has changed is his quarter circle back button or medium. Usually it's this upward slash into a down slash, and it launches the opponent. When he has gray life, it's literally May's dolphin move from Guilty Gear. So again, he's gonna have combo routing with all these, like using his unique and comboing into it. A lot of it's gonna be utilizing assists. So make sure you pick good assists for Deadpool. I'll go over that in a little bit, but I just kind of want to focus on his moveset. And that's his unique abilities in a nutshell, and the special moves that are affected. So now we can actually just talk about his special moves. I would go over normals, but it's pretty redundant at this point. Everyone knows medium buttons. Maybe beginners or casuals might not know, but mediums and heavies are going to be your main poking tools. So like, say you dash at someone, you're gonna use like a medium and hit them overhead, or you can even do a down heavy if you're trying to cross them up. I would go over normals, but usually you just use mediums and heavies for pokes. Starting off with his gunshot, it's quarter circle forward light. This is a really good projectile tool to kind of zone out your opponent. Deadpool is a zoner, so kind of play him as one, but he can also do good once he's in. But he has to use assists to get in. His medium gunshot is a little slower. It does more damage though. That does 10,000. The light does 9,000. And then the EX is really good. It's faster. It still does 10,000 damage, but the cool thing about this is it beats out projectiles. So this can beat out some projectiles. Some I don't think you can, like Iron Man's beam.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Oh, I take that back. So your EX gunshot can beat beams. So this is gonna be really helpful against zoning. You just need to be mindful of your meter, and then you can even hit confirm stuff. So if you use your EX and then you go into like a medium gunshot, okay, maybe you have to do a light. You can tag into your other character and then follow up with a combo. I know you're not playing as Deadpool at that point, but this is something you should get down as Deadpool. So those are his gunshots. You can also use them in the air, as I showed a little bit ago. So if your opponent's like jumping around and you kind of want to get above them, say they're jumping around, Iron Man can hover, but you can try to get the height advantage on them and then shoot them with a gunshot and then maybe call an assist. But yeah, those are just a few ways of like using his gunshots. You can also use them in combos to hit confirm and go for your BNB. Next up is his quarter circle back button. This is a double hitting sword move. The light version is going to be your main combo starter. Call in your assist and then follow up. But okay, so Magneto's projectile is a little too slow, so you're probably gonna have to go with a generic assist. But at that point, you might want to hit confirm into gunshot. But anyway, going over off topic. This is gonna be a good combo tool, as well as against the wall at wall splats. So then at that point, you can set up stuff like your bomb, and then go for a combo or something. Again, I'll have combos later on. The medium version launches the opponent up in the air, but mid-screen, you're gonna have to call an assist. Otherwise, if you're in the corner, he doesn't go anywhere, so you're able to follow up with a jump light, and then you can go into the auto combo, because it'll stick Deadpool to Iron Man, and then he'll be able to finish the follow-ups and then go for the knockdown, and then you can go for, you know, whatever, knockdown into assist, and then go for your combo. The EX version, mid-screen, it knocks them far back. Yeah, I thought maybe you could follow with the gunshot, but you can't. So with the EX, you're still gonna have to follow up with a projectile assist or something, because they don't immediately recover, as you can tell with the tumble animation. He's able to follow up enough to where even a slow projectile like Magneto's can catch up to them, and then you can run up and combo. And then next up, he has two more specials. It's his down. He kind of goes into this funny jumping pose, and then if you, depending on the strength of the button you press, he'll have a different trajectory. So the light version kind of has just like a little bit of a forward trajectory. Medium has more of an upward trajectory. And then that's heavy. So it even has more of a forward, it has a mix of both. So you can maybe use this as a cross-up tool. You can like maybe call in an opponent or your assist on block and then go for some kind of mix-up, you know. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, this can be a good mix-up tool. Your opponent can 2H though, so be careful and like make sure you cover with an assist. Something like that. I'm sure there's a way you can get that across up, but and then the EX version. So yeah, you can combo into it. The way you can combo off it is from a 2H, but if they're off the ground even a little bit, it's not really gonna connect. It's inconsistent, or it doesn't connect at all. But again, you can use this as like a neutral skip tool. And then if you hit them, it pops them up, and then you can go for your follow-up. If I can get it. Anyway. So yeah, use this as kind of a way to like get around zoning. Just make sure you use like the EX version into the heavy button, or even the medium version. Mainly use this as a mix-up tool. You have other tools to like outzone your opponent with, and that's his gunshots. Another thing I forgot to mention was his Air U. It's head pool, and depending on the strength of the button, he will throw it at a different trajectory. So if your opponent's further away, you press light. If they're mid-screen, you press medium, and then if they're like right below you, you throw this down. And I'm sure there's some setups with this that you can find. So those are 3 out of 4 of his specials. The last one is his DP. It's his Rising Sword Attack. This can also be a good combo tool. You just need to make sure to call an assist. The medium version, again, pops up, and this actually does combo off of a heavy. So you don't have to do like a 2H, which usually has more hit stun, and some specials can only connect that way. But in this case, Deadpool's medium DP can connect from a regular standing heavy. This is going to be one of his main ways of comboing. And then he's going to, you know, pop his grenade out and then eventually use his healing unique move in order to access the other moves and get more damage. Especially if you have the bomb, that enhances the damage for those special moves even more. So that's why you want to go into Deadpool's healing factor or whatever. I don't know what it's called. I almost forgot that I left out one of Deadpool's moves. So I'm going back and recording this now. But it's his Roman cancel, and how you do it is you press medium plus your unique button. Or just any button with your unique. Seems like you can press it with... Yeah, so it's any strength button plus your unique. And what this does is it allows Deadpool to really cancel any special move into Roman cancel, which is a Guilty Gear mechanic. But the thing is with this is it uses up Deadpool's health bar, and quite a bit. So if you look up at his health, not only did it damage him, but it also gave him like 10%, almost 15% gray life. So I don't know if you should use this often, because again, it's at the expense of like almost 25% of your health bar, 15% of your health bar. So again, just be cautious when you use it. If you can kill with the combo, for sure, use it. I'll have some combo examples with it, but yeah, that's Deadpool's Roman cancel. Those are all of his special moves. In terms of synergy, I think you want a good shooter to pair with him himself. So I can recommend Magneto, Star-Lord, maybe even Spider-Man. Some good shooters that would pair with Deadpool are Iron Man, Black Panther, Storm, possibly even Danger, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, Blade could be good, Magneto, Doom. These are all good shooter assists that I could recommend for Deadpool. As for verticals, I think some of the best verticals in this game probably has to be Magneto, Doom, maybe Ghost Rider, and Iron Man. For your assault, you definitely would want someone like maybe Doom. You can use his laser and lock him down with your zoning. Same with Danger. Danger's another zoning character, so if you just want to make a zoning team, you can throw her on the team. But yeah, assault assist kind of can be up to you, but I would pick an assault assist that complements Deadpool. Kamala would be good. Yeah, I don't know how all the assault assists work, but those are just a few examples of synergy that I would go with for Deadpool. But yeah, that's kind of gonna be it for Deadpool and his moves. I just kind of went over his moves and showed you how they work and how you could implement them. Now I will show you some easy to advanced combos, and which you can use his U ability and his grenade and whatnot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this guide, and now I will show combos, and that'll be the end of this video. If you found it helpful, let me know. If you're gonna pick up DP, definitely let me know. The last thing I wanted to mention is, if you're gonna play Deadpool or have him on your team, make him point or shooter, but he's definitely better on point. His assists kind of are meh, so again, pick him as point if anything. But enough rambling, I'm just gonna get on with the combos now. I hope you enjoy. I'm Darkson signing out, and I hope you take care. Peace.
Getting started. Here comes Deadpool. World peace is all on me. Slice and dice. All right. Slice and dice. They're gonna love this. No more evil deeds. Slice and dice. You got it. Hey! You know where rage quitters end up?